Now, fast forward recently to Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders' son, goes viral, but not for football, but for how he structured his contract. He had an equity clause in his deal with Gatorade. That clause basically said, I'm not just here as a name or a body. I want part of what's being built off of me. I want ownership in the outcome. So that clause essentially just preserved his interest. And he didn't walk away with just a one-time check. He walked away with his corrected status in the contract, and he claimed his equity.
What if I told you Shedeur Sanders just broke the NFL without even stepping on the field? Yeah, teams are crying, agents are sweating, and one quarterback just retired out of pure fear. Buckle up, because this contract extension didn't just shake the league, it body slammed it into next season.
There's so much speculation. Shedeur Sanders can make all of it irrelevant. All of it, including where he was drafted, including being drafted in the 5th round. I get it, he won't get the contract, but he can erase all of this with a great performance in this game. And I get it, people are saying, that's a lot to ask. Well, hold up. I mean, this is what the NFL is about. You have to grab a hold of your opportunities.
Hey, we've added a quarterback. And also, this one we have extra info on.
Oh, good.
Which is Pickett and Gabriel exclusively a 7-on-7.
So it's
because
you can't really put those with the.
Well, I mean, but keep in mind some of the other ones that have been that as well. But because Pickett and Gabriel aren't allowed to do 11-on-11 right now because they don't want to re-aggravate the hamstrings.
So there you go.
Context. Yeah, go ahead.
Shedeur was 4 for 7.
Yeah.
But 11-on-11.
11-on-11. How are you feeling today? We did the breaking news yesterday. You've had a day to let it marinate. How are you feeling about Shedeur now?
Well, look, there's been so much speculation, even on our part, on everybody's part.
It started with a pen stroke and ended with the NFL spontaneously combusting into 1,000 fragile egos. Shedeur Sanders didn't just sign a contract extension. He signed the league's obituary. Somewhere, an aging quarterback just spilled his protein shake while refreshing Twitter, because whatever that number is, it's a wake-up call.
The other thing about that whole, we're setting him up to fail, you got to remember, too, this was not the Browns' plan. This first preseason game was not going to be start Shedeur Sanders. It was going to be probably start Kenny Pickett, and then move to Dillon Gabriel and let Shedeur finish up the game. Well, then Kenny Pickett gets hurt. Well, then the plan changed to, let's get Dillon Gabriel ready. He'll start that first preseason game. Then he gets hurt. So it's not like they had this grand master conspiracy to, we're going to not give him any first-team reps, and then, boom, we're going to put him out there right away to start He was never the plan to start this game to begin with.
And not the kind that gently nudges you with birdsong. No. This is the kind that kicks down the door, slaps you with cash, and asks why your stat line looks like a Wi-Fi password. Teams across the league are suddenly staring at their QB rooms like they just realized they've been catfished. Wait. This is who we paid $40 million for? Meanwhile, Shedeur's contract hits the timeline like a meteor, and now there's an extinction-level event underway in half a dozen front offices.
Not just playing the game, but owning the attention, audience, and upside. That's the definition right there. A player's total value beyond the field, including the media brand, fan base influence, content rights, merch sales, NIL history, and ability to generate attention, revenue, and culture. How prime equity shows on Shedeur's career. Media presence. Shedeur blogs, YouTube, IG Live, Twitch. Direct-to-fan marketing machine. You leverage that to them big companies that making money off of your name.
Because it's one thing for a young quarterback to get paid. It's another thing entirely for him to make it look easy. And let's be clear. Shedeur didn't get this deal for vibes and highlight reels. He didn't just go viral. He went valuable. Leadership? Check. Precision passing? Check. Swagger levels requiring a warning label? Triple check. He walked into Cleveland, took one look at the chaos, and decided to bring order like some kind of gridiron John Wick. Except instead of revenge, he's out for touchdowns and generational wealth. Coaches saw it. Teammates felt it. Defenses? Well, they mostly saw the back of his jersey. But the league? Oh, the league wasn't ready. Because this isn't just a new QB getting the bag. This is a seismic power shift. The NFL has spent years pretending college stars need to wait their turn. Shedeur skipped the line, pulled out the receipts, and handed the bouncer his contract extension.
The Browns will do anything not to play Shedeur. Everyone knows the story by now with the draft. The Browns never wanted Sanders, and now it seems like they're trying to sabotage his career. Let me explain. First, They just released their unofficial QB depth chart, and where do you think they have Sanders listed? Yup, that's right, last. And if you're thinking it must be based on performance so far in camp, you'd be wrong, because here are the stats from all 4 QBs so far this training camp. Sanders has not only not been the worst, he's been the best, but he's last on the depth chart. Make it make sense.
Because of Shedeur Sanders' brand, he has implemented an entirely new clause for NFL contracts called the prime equity. And in this clause, he gets a percentage of everything that the Browns make off of his image and his likeness. This includes a certain amount when it comes to jerseys, merchandise. He also owns all of his content. So whether that's digital, whether that is, streaming media, whatever it is, docuseries, social media, he owns it. This is legendary. And the fact that it's called the prime equity clause.
Now you've got executives from other teams trying to decode this deal like it's the Dead Sea Scrolls. What does this mean for our cap space? Can we afford hope anymore? One team's analytics guy reportedly took a sabbatical just to emotionally process the guaranteed money clause. Another franchise is reportedly holding emergency Zoom therapy sessions with their QB1, who just realized Shadur is younger, faster, cooler, and, oh yeah, more expensive now. Meanwhile, fan bases are switching allegiances like this is free agency for their souls. A suspicious spike in Browns jerseys with Sanders on the back just crashed several online retailers. And no, it's not because of Dion nostalgia. It's because the NFL finally has a new storyline. And it's not recycled drama about mid-tier veterans or legacy names hanging on for one more retirement tour.
Now, we know Shedeur Sanders really hasn't got a whole bunch of reps with the ones, really hasn't been able to showcase his talent like that with the starting lineup. Now, I am here to tell you, Kenny Pickett got hurt. Dylan Gabriel got hurt, and guess what? They have no other choice but to play Shedeur Sanders. See, God don't like when you do ugly things to people, but that's neither here or there. Now, Cleveland Brown reporters and insiders that is close to the team is pretty much saying that they might not be happy that Shedeur Sanders is starting because that really wasn't part of the plan. Now, I just came across this seconds ago, bro, and this is interesting to me because I have to agree with them.
This is the real deal, and it comes with receipts, confidence, and just enough cockiness to terrify your defensive coordinator. Let's not forget how the haters are handling this. Spoiler, they're not. Sports radio hosts who swore he was a system QB are now scrambling to redefine system. Pundits who claimed he wouldn't survive in the NFL are pretending they always knew he had something special. It's like watching an ex suddenly remember your birthday after you go viral on Forbes. And in all this chaos, Shadur, cool as ever, probably somewhere casually sipping a smoothie while his phone explodes with endorsement offers. This isn't just a win for him. It's a blueprint for how the next generation of players will negotiate, perform, and dominate. And yes, he did it without needing to sit behind a veteran for 3 years or learn humility on the bench. He learned by balling, and now he's getting paid like a Wall Street banker with zero remorse.
A preseason football game tomorrow night. We know who will be the starting quarterback for the Browns when they take on the Carolina Panthers Friday night. That will be Shedeur Sanders. But yesterday in the joint practice, there was some hullabaloo about how the quarterback reps were divvied up. Flacco did get the majority of the reps in the team drills. But Sanders, Pickett, Gabriel, and Huntley also.
It's going to be a referendum, and it ain't going to be on Shedeur Sanders. Friday night, it's going to be a referendum on Kevin Stefanski and the Cleveland Browns. But you can see this happening right now. No first-team reps yesterday in the joint practice for Shedeur Sanders, but he's going to be going up against first-teamers. There's a lot of people who are upset about that. We'll see. We'll see. I'm a protectionist. I do not treat him like a fifth-round pick. I treat him like he should have been taken. I think that this is a high-ceiling guy and you could look at him as almost a gift if you want to. We talked a lot about gifts yesterday. I do not want to put him in harm's way. I don't just say, hey, he's a fifth-round guy, whatever. No. I think there's a possibility. So I take this guy, and I want to put him in the best position possible.
The ripple effect is already here. Quarterbacks across the league are suddenly restructuring their deals. Translation? Begging for raises before the Sanders standard becomes the new baseline. Rookie QBs entering next year's draft just added "do a Shadur" to their vision boards. Even college coaches are panicking because now every hotshot prospect wants Shedur's path. Immediate impact, massive respect, and a contract that could fund a small country. Of course, the NFL PR machine is working overtime. Press releases are flying out trying to contextualize the extension. Front office types are whispering that it's just a calculated risk. But let's be real, this is not a risk. This is a message, a statement, a full-blown manifesto delivered in the form of direct deposits. The Browns, yes, those Browns, might have accidentally stumbled into modern relevance by trusting a quarterback with actual upside. Who knew that not overpaying washed veterans and instead betting on a dynamic young leader could work? Revolutionary stuff.
Get it, he's the GOAT. But he had one chance. Drew Bledsoe gets hurt. He goes in there and they just start running off wins. He had one shot. And Brock Purdy, I'm not even trying to start a Purdy thing. Purdy had one chance. Like, he was Mr. Irrelevant. He's thrown in against legitimate NFL teams in the regular season. But this is what it's about. And I'll give him this. Look, because of his last name, he's had pressure on him his whole life because your dad was a superstar athlete. So everybody thinks, are you going to be that? Can you live up to that?
His dad, Dion, with his personal brand, was able to create, this life, this brand for his family. He passed the baton to his sons, his nephews, his daughters, etc. And they were able to carry on with their own personal brands and their own personalities. I know a lot of us were upset about how the draft took place, but he was playing chess, not checkers, and took a page out of Prime's book. And I love that they called it Prime. I just love that. And again, this is not going to be the first time that we see this.
And if this pans out the way it's already trending, Cleveland's going to need to build a new trophy case and a whole new Wi-Fi network for all the fans logging on to say, "I told you so." Meanwhile, other teams are now reconsidering their entire pipeline. Suddenly, that QB of the future sitting in the third string just got a lot more interesting. Not because he improved, but because Shadur just rewrote the value curve. And the bar? It's no longer veteran savvy. It's vision, velocity, and vibes. And let's not overlook the Prime effect hovering like a proud father in the background. Shedeur Sanders didn't just raise a baller, he raised a business. Shadur isn't just winning games, he's winning the game. And every time he takes a snap, it's another reminder that you don't have to play by the old rules when you were raised to break them. So what now? Well, buckle up, because the NFL's old guard just got a harsh reality check. The future isn't coming. It already signed a contract extension, bought a Tesla, and rolled up with custom cleats that cost more than your salary cap analyst's house. And the league? It can either catch up or get cooked. Shedur's not waiting.